Let me shift to delimitation, because that is what I have been asked to come and speak about. What is delimitation? Many people sitting here would know, but some of my young colleagues may not know. Delimitation is an exercise that was to be done every 10 years. After every 10 years, after every census, the boundaries of constituencies need to be drawn afresh. Why? Because population has changed. Guntur's city must have become much bigger now. So Guntur has what? One assembly constituency? Two. But maybe by now it needs three, because the population has increased in Guntur. People have moved from rural areas to urban areas. So delimitation is done in order to reflect the changing population share and therefore redraw the boundaries. So urban constituencies become smaller because more people have moved in there. Rural constituencies become bigger because population has shifted away from there. So delimitation is the name for redrawing of constituencies. But please remember, what we call redrawing has three different elements in it. One is, just as I said, Guntur population has increased, rural population has gone down. The same would be true at the level of states. Some states' population has gone up. Some states' population has come down. What should happen? The Constitution of India said that every 10 years, you should reallocate the number of seats for each state based on population. So, according to the original Constitution, when your population goes up, the number of seats goes up. Your population comes down, the number of seats come down. But, so it happened in 1952 to 57. It happened after 1961. It happened after 1971. But in 1976, this was frozen. The parliament said, we are trying to achieve population control and we do not want any state to lose their seats because their population has come down. On that basis, in 1976, the reallocation of seats was stopped. In 2001, it was stopped for 25 years. In 1976, it was stopped frozen for 25 years. It came up again 2001. At that time, Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the Prime Minister. There was consultation in the Parliament and it was decided to postpone it for another 25 years. Till 2026. We are in 2025. And the provision is that when the census takes place next year in 2026, after that, delimitation will take place. This is what the Constitution says. What will happen? So the question that the country now faces is this. Should the delimitation take place after 2026? Should it take place partially? Should it not take place at all? That is the question that India has to decide. It's a very major question. What is called delimitation has three components in it. One is reallocation of seats for different states. Some states get more seats, some states get less seats. Reallocation of seats for different states is component number one. Second component is within a state, seats can be redrawn. The number of seats can go up. Now Andhra Pradesh has 175 seats, yeah? You can increase it to 250. Even if Andhra Pradesh becomes 300, it makes no difference to Telangana. But that's your internal matter. So first is external. Number of seats in Lok Sabha for different states. That is external. Second is purely internal. Within the state, should Guntur get 3 seats or 4 seats? Visakhapatnam, should the number of seats go up, come down? Total number of seats in Andhra Assembly, should it become 175, 200, 250, 300? That is the second element. The third element in delimitation is reservation of seats. Which seat should be reserved? Which seat should be unreserved? For SC, for ST, and now, because of the constitutional amendment for women, there will be the question of which seat to be reserved for women. These three things constitute delimitation. Now, the debate is not about the second or the third. Second and third happen. They should be allowed to happen. There is no debate about that. The size of state assemblies should be increased. It is currently very small. Telangana should at least have 200 MLAs. Why not? Andhra should probably have 300 MLAs. Normally, for every 1 lakh population, there should be 1 MLA. So there is no debate about this because it does not affect any other state. It is purely an internal matter. Reservation of seats, they have to be done afresh. In some cases, new communities have become ST. So proportion changes. There is no debate about that. I will keep that out. I will only focus on the first element, which is the share of different states in the delimitation exercise, reallocation of seats. As I said, in 1976, this part of delimitation was frozen and the constitution was amended. Constitution said, whatever the share of population in the 1971 census, we will go by that, we will not change it. In 2001, again the constitution was amended to say that we will redraw the boundaries within the state, but we will not change the state quota. Whatever existed in 1971 will persist. But now, if delimitation takes place, reallocation of seats takes place on the basis of new population, what will happen? This I want all of you to understand.